After a long day of searching and finding nothing, our intrepid trio decide it's time to sit by a campfire and confab.
Well, gentlemen, it looks like we have covered most of the areas on Jack's map.
Yeah, came up empty. Well, I'm willing to put in another day of searching, if you cats are.
I promised Lord Highborn I would stay with Eagle Eye and protect him until he decides to give up the search.
So, it looks like the choice is up to old Double E.
Eagle Eye is sitting there with a faraway look in his eye. He's so distracted by whatever's on his mind, he doesn't notice the 8-foot-tall, hairy giant standing kind of in the trees and in the bushes. You know, this is the guy they was looking for this whole time. And Eagle Eye wouldn't notice him if he was standing right in front of him.
All right. Time to lay your burden down.
Well, it happened when meeting the zookeeper today. He made a big deal about working with my uncle. What you fellas don't know is my uncle was a notorious criminal back east. I loved him. Heck, I would have done anything for his approval. I was happy working with him, but I eventually realized how wrong our crimes were. I grew to hate it. I went to a detective and spilled the whole operation. This caused that big bat problem, which landed my uncle behind bars. Don't get me wrong, I still love the guy, but he was hurting a lot of people and had to be stopped. It was my duty. This is why I moved out west and got a job with Ryan. Seeing Eagleton again just brought all the pain back.
I know what you're going to say, but don't worry. No one at the theater will hold your past mistakes against you. And if Eagleton decides to cause a problem, well, Quiggly will surely lower the boom on him. Kapow!
Big Fuzzy, he steps back a few paces and blends strangely in to the flora and fauna around him. Notice, though, he's still watching all three of them pretty intently.
Quig here is right. We all have mistakes in our past. Even the old skipper here. Big Rye saved my bacon when the gambling problem I had almost ruined my career.
Oh, really?
It's true, Dad. It happened right here in Bear Valley. I was making great scratch at the casino playing gigs. So, I thought one night I would play a little poker, and I just could not stop. I began to owe the casino my paycheck before I even got it. Rye Boy let me move to the theater to work, where I would be safe from the gambling temptation. I cut a deal with the casino where I'm giving them a percentage of my paycheck off the top until my debt to them is totally paid. Yeah.
You see, young man, there's nothing to worry about. We're all behind you.
Well, when Owen Eagleton pulled me aside, he said that he is using a system my uncle taught him to sell and smuggle animals out of the zoo. You just got a shipment of penguins in. He plans to ship them to Ahez. The heat there will kill the poor waddlers for sure. I can't let that happen. I'm going to free those birds.
Not without me, you're not. I know that zoo like the back of my hand. As an animal lover, I can't stand by when some uncool cat is going to mistreat them like that. Plus, Skip is always there for his friends, Big Daddy. Yeah.
Lord Highborn instructed me to protect you. Since my days in Her Majesty's Secret Service, Quiggly has never failed an assignment. I have no intention of starting now.
Oh, wow. Were you a spy?
Decorated twice by the Queen herself. May she rest in peace. We are all in. If only I knew the layout of the place. We could both save the birds and nail this unscrupulous black market animal trader. Ha!
Well, just sit back as the old skipper draws you a map.
Looks like old BF is touched by our friend's resolve. So he decides he's gonna join in. Whether they know it or not, Sasquatch is intent on helping him save those boys. You go, big guy. Eagle Eye, Quiggly, and Skip are making like their own version of the rescue rangers, heading to the zoo to free those penguins. What they don't know as they approach the zoo is that they're being followed by a very curious and very determined Sasquatch, who's got kind of the same idea.
Are you sure they will not see us from the guard shack?
Definitely, Quickster. The security here is the very definition of minimal, since there is never any trouble at this joint. And certainly no animal snatching.
Well, until tonight.
Skip, here are the instructions on how to crack a Victor Safe and Lock Bottle 1893. First, I knock out the two guards in the shack. Then, Eagle Eye, you will turn off the alarm system and open the front door to the zookeeper's office. This will allow Skip to come in and do his thing.
Checkaroo, Daddy-o.
Once the guards are out cold and all the cameras are off, we will only have about 30 minutes to free the penguins and load them into the truck. Skip already snuck the vehicle inside the gate earlier this evening.
Well, how do I get in to do all this?
There's a small drainage tunnel to the left with a big, thick grate on it. Quiggly points out that Eagle Eye is about 4'8". That means he is small enough to crawl through the tunnel.
I see, but what do I do about the lock on the grate?
The ever-resourceful bodyguard pulls a lockpick set out of his pocket and hands it to Eagle Eye.
Here, you can pick it with this. Remember, you only have 10 minutes at most to open it and get the outer gate unlocked. If you don't pull this off, the whole plan will fail.
I won't let you down. Go. I hope.
Very good. Now, Skip, let's get into position.
Eagle Eye gets right to work. But, being Eagle Eye, he drops the lockpick, of course, into the grass, and, yeah, you guessed it, he can't find it.
Oh, I've done it again. I have less than 10 minutes to find that lockpick in the dark. Think, Eagle Eye, think.
Him being him, he thinks it's a good idea to run into a wrought iron grate. The little mug thinks if he backs up far enough, runs into it hard enough, it's bound to open. I hate to tell him. He hits the grate with all his might. Of course, it does nothing to the grate. But it puts him on his rear end, and he's seeing stars.
Winning.
Nice try anyway, Pally. Dazed and woozy, Eagle Eye doesn't notice when Sasquatch rears back with his big hairy arm and slams right into the iron grate. Now that's a strong guy, because it comes flying open. Sasquatch quickly checks on his battered little buddy. He sees that Eagle Eye's okay, and he ducks back into the underbrush. In the meantime, old Eagle Eye comes around, and is he sore? And then it all happens in a flash. Eagle Eye goes through the tunnel, turns off the alarm. Skip goes into the zookeeper's office and does what he needs to do. While Quiggly, like the professional he is, frees the penguins and begins herding them into the truck. Looks like this operation, like a good poker hand, is coming up all aces.